Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Meditation Reflections. Welcome. It's a beautiful sunny day, no wind. Got up super early and had a big fire outside. Needed to burn some things. And anyway, here we are. Wonderful meditation. The world is in kind of a chaos right now. A lot of people are struggling through it. Unfortunately, the suicide rate is way up, and I don't know, there's things that are going on that are actually hidden. The mainstream media is hiding a lot of stuff, not reporting on it, ignoring it, and even spreading confusion about it. So it's time for you to do your own research, and you're not going to get information from the mainstream. It's just so out of control, it's ridiculous. But you can find out what's going on, but you're going to have to search through the internet and the truth sayers, the people that are doing research, finding out what's really going on. And anyway, I just got some confusion thrown in. Anyway, help me out here.
Well, it's tricky because we have been looking at this kind of information for a long time, and we can see the accuracy of it. And we've had multiple news sources and multiple variations. But we can now see where the mainstream media is leaving stuff out because the video and the reporting doesn't match. Or you'll hear reports, authorities said and so forth, and they leave the name out, which I think was a big telltale.
Yeah, and they'll give sources say, they won't give the sources. Authorities say, they won't tell you who that is either. Experts say, or even scientists say. And it's just bullshit, absolute bullshit often, or a twisted truth. It's lies, deceit, twisted truths, half truths.
What's nice is it's a simple matter. They're watering it down. It's a simple matter to go and the information's on this topic. The main source of information for that topic, say on COVID virus, is Johns Hopkins Medical University. But the detail is you go to Johns Hopkins and look at what's going on and their publications, and then you get the name of a scientist who's presenting a particular idea, and you can read the article for yourself. So it's not always that the information on the internet's wrong. It's just how deep are you willing to track down the original author and find out what's being said. My guidance came in with a little bit something different, though. We're still at a moment of change and transition. But I found the guide stepping back at this moment going, this is going to be fascinating to watch, but this is not a moment at which we can help. You're making a choice. It will be your choice. And whatever the outcome is, we will endeavor to support it any way we can, because they're very positive entities.
It's kind of like the non-interference directive.
Yes, a little bit. They're not going to step in and overtly shift it, because that's as dreadful as the dictatorship that's attempting to be set up.
Yeah.
But they're also saying to me that there will come a time, if the choices line up correctly, where we can step in and we can help. Yeah. And I went, well, that's really pretty interesting too. So we had a little sit-in for one of our guides this morning, and the cats were just having a nap. They weren't even participating. And normally they'll sit and watch the room and go, oh, okay, what's going on?
There is so much censorship going on right now. People's truth sayers their means of getting the information out are being censored, and they're having to go to other places to get the word out. And
so you have a lot of alternative media sites, BitChute, Cloud Hub, Rumble, Parler, all of these are, and you have to do some more work to go find the speakers on those platforms.
And unfortunately, the people that know about this are already attuned to what's going on in the world. They often they're basically preaching to the choir, those that are already in the know.
Well, I've got an idea.
But if there's a lot of fence sitters and you can't find the information, it's really sad because they're working. Many people are working on false information.
What's really intriguing me, though, and it was a kind of turnaround idea, depending on which numbers you're looking at, but all the numbers show at least 220 to 232 to 198 electoral votes for President Trump. The interesting detail there is that's an awful lot of people who voted for Trump. And I would think their level of awareness of the other levels of things going on might be much higher than we realize.
Yeah.
That they see, because I see this as a difference between smaller picture and bigger picture. If you think the reality of the world is how it would naturally be, you could accept this as a kind of reality. If you don't see this as a natural reality, but as an extremely manipulated reality over a very long time period, with just coming up to the point where it can do a lot of damage to a lot of people, then you see it differently. So all these people, they're making a choice in a certain direction, and I think it's deliberate. They might be one-issue voters, like Trump supports NRA. I will support NRA. I believe Trump supports the First Amendment. I support, might be something like that. But I think there's a lot of people who have been doing their homework, who are reading about this. And I think there are conversations including much more levels of information than in some cases. Now, we rapidly discover which side of the line a person's on, and it's such a relaxing thing to go, oh, another woke person, and we proceed to talk about what's going on now.
Yeah. And there's many levels of wokeness.
True.
Yeah.
Many levels of enlightenment.
Yeah, exactly.
The phrase. But that's a decision-making process, and what they're saying is it is a decision. This is your planet, you're making the choices, but unfortunately the United States has led in the direction of democracy. And
unfortunately.
No, not unfortunately, that's good. The United States is the leader of democracy. It's an operational democracy that has functioned very well for 200 years. You have to remember all the other governments on the planet claim to be democracies, whether they are or not. So the goal in terms of the people is a functional democracy that they all get to live under. Not a global one, but a real regional democracy that actually reflects the beliefs of the people there.
Yeah.
So,
a democracy ideally represents the wishes of the people, not the ruling
elites.
elites.
And it's the people area by area because different people have different needs. That's the reason.
And
so if the United States is having trouble holding on to the concept of democracy, that signals problems for the entire planet. Other countries are going to have trouble holding it.
Yeah.
And they're having trouble holding it anyway. So we're hoping that the concepts of democracy spread, not get pushed under the, let's see, would you say a threshold of conspiracy? Oh, it's just a conspiracy. You do really want democracy.
Yeah. So, usually in the past I've been avoiding politics, but it's getting to the point now where I can't just let it slide by because this means way too much to the world. We've got to do the right thing to make this planet work on a positive level. And if we allow things to be controlled, and I mean, the media calling the election, media doesn't have the say in that.
It's interesting. Keep in mind, we're in New Zealand, and I can remember studying government, both national government and state government, as I had to study state history and national history. But a lot of people are asking me questions about the American Constitution, and I had to go back and review Article 12 myself, because I can't remember that one to see what it is. But a lot of them are very mechanical things, like why do we have the Electoral College? What was actually happening when it was invented? And it is part of the Constitution.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions about that because our Bill of Rights is very unique on the planet. Our Constitution is very public. You have constitutions on the planet that are rather secret, which is tricky. So you want a population that can read and make decisions, and that's the actual process here, is people are making a decision as to how they think the world should be.
I really like, even the first two words of the Constitution are powerful. We, the people, or
Right.
3 words, I guess.
So
But, yeah.
they were very clever. I had to take
The founding fathers were just very enlightened beings.
I took a course in it and got to do a kind of interesting project in that course. A book came out of it, and I got to illustrate it. There was lots of squabbles, upsets, arguments between these people, but they worked through the argument to get the best compromises they could. And then somebody sat down and worked through writing it and then going through the amending process. So it was true democracy with all the foibles and all the ruckus that a democracy does, but it does it in a very positive manner. How do we get the best we can?
Yeah.
And that was true.
That's what we want. We want the best we can get for the U.S., for the world, and for each country. Yeah.
Following it blow by blow for us is kind of exhausting, and all we can do is offer our prayers and support. And that's part of the process too, offering your prayers for what you see as the best outcome possible,
Yeah.
and seek guidance in that, and do your homework.
Yeah.
What's real?
Do the research. Don't be lazy and just believe mainstream, because
If
they're part of the problem. The dark side has had control of the media for a long time, and it's time to wake up and realize you're being lied to.
One of the things about scientists say, experts say, authority says, track down that expert, that authority, and see who that individual is, because after all, it's just a human being saying something, and maybe they're not who they claim they are.
Exactly.
Yeah, better to find out the individual, because an individual can change his mind. Vague things like authority, you can't tell who they are, and you can't discuss it with them, and it's just kept in a cloud. So, interesting problem.
So anyway, be good to yourself. Do the research.
Keep friends, family, countries, the world in prayer. We need it now.
Thanks for being here, and we'll see you soon.
Blessings upon you.
Blessings.